Oh, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the very last championship challenge for this year. There's only one qualifier left, so obviously it's going to be the last championship challenge. As you can see, starts in 1 day's time. The map's actually got released a little bit late this time around. That's would have got this out sooner. So it's going to be taking a look at things. Not going to spend too much time on it this time, just because in this meta there's not really a ton of brawlers you can play. So without further ado, let's just go into the first map. Okay guys, going into the first map, so it is Hard Rock Mine. Again, this map's been out a lot in the Championship Challenge, and there's a variety of things you can go because it is just the first round. Every single time I say this in the first round, you're going to be facing really low trophy opponents. Just not going to be very good, so definitely use stuff that you're comfortable with. But obviously the best comp in the game at the moment, if you guys aren't somehow aware, if you just look at the win rates and Brawl stats, they'll let you know. But literally on every single mode, Mr. P, Surge and Gale is going to be really good, just because there's literally no comp that really counters this except for Poker Double Tank on Brawl. That's the only one that counters this comp, so going this is very good. If you're not comfortable with these brawlers, or you haven't got Surge or Gale, because obviously they are chromatic brawlers, you can go more comfortable brawlers like a Carl on the lane. You can go Piper mid, send Mr. P on the lane. Mr. P is just really good overall. You've got Poco, Rosa and Jackie that you can go. There's a lot of different options you can go on this map. You've also got Brock on the lane, you've got Rico on the lane. You've just got to play whatever you feel comfortable on this map. As I said, it's going to be so easy to play in this one. I could literally play reverse controls and blindfolded and beat some of the people inside of this one. So don't overthink this first map. As long as you're not allowing enemies to sneak into your grass, you should be having a good time. And obviously, when you're using an aggressive brawler like a Carl or a Rosa or something like that, you want to try to get into their grass for as much as possible. If you're using a Piper, try and break up as much as the map as possible, especially their grass, well, their mid grass, so you know where they are. Same thing applies with Brock. If you're playing Brock, you want to open up their grass. But as I said, the kind of key thing about it, you just don't want to overthink things. Just go what you're most comfortable with. And the number one tip, as I always say for this, again, you want to find a team or user looking for team feature that's in the game. Not many people use it, so definitely for these type of challenges, use that feature, or try and find someone in my comment section or on a Discord, or someone in your club or something like that who's willing to play with you. They don't have to be the best. You might not be friends with that person, but it's definitely going to be better than going with randoms, because randoms can be just really bad. They can just use really bad brawlers. So as I said, don't overthink this one too much. You're going to be having a good time whatever you pick on this map. Okay guys, so the second map that is on the Championship Challenge, it is Layer Cake. So the meta has actually changed a lot, and ever since the Sprout rework, his second star power of photosynthesis has gotten a lot of love. So that's a shield star power. That's a really good brawler to go, especially in the mid. You can use it against Piper, you can use it on the lane. Definitely recommend a Sprout. Again, if you're good Surge, Surge is needed in like every single composition. So if you're good Surge and you're comfortable using them, definitely bring out the Surge. Again, you've got Mr. P, you've got Piper mid, you've got Brock, you've got Tick, you've just got the generic bounty stuff. Again, if you're not comfortable with them type of control brawlers, you can just run a Poco, Jackie, Rose or Carl, that kind of brawlers. I don't need to say it as many times, but you can go with that type of brawlers. You can even go Gale on the lane if needed, if you're comfortable at using Gale. But the thing about Gale, it can be hard. You've just got to keep jumping in, using them jump pads for pressure. The thing about Surge as well, as you can see in the gameplay, I'm constantly keeping my distance, and then when someone gets close enough, I can use my teleport and do 1.5k damage. So I definitely can 2 or 3 tap certain brawlers. Just want to be building up my super as long as possible. And when you're playing Surge, it's all about the first upgrade. You're going to be really slow at the beginning, and throwers are going to be really good against you. So you want to play it passive and get that first one, and then you should be golden. So this Layer Cake map is all about control, all about keeping your lanes and helping to pinch. Again, as I said, that Sprout star power, I probably would say that's the best brawler on this map, is Sprout with photosynthesis, because you've got a gadget as well that heals you for 2k, so you basically got 4k HP plus the shield. It's kind of insane. It can help all of the lanes. Definitely one of my biggest picks. But again, it is the second round, so you don't need to overthink things too much. Go what brawlers you're comfortable with. Again, you're going to be having a good time, and as long as you've got a team, as long as you've got people that are going to be using brawlers you're comfortable with, you'll be having a good success rate. Okay guys, jumping into the third set then. So it's going to be Siege, some assembly required. So on ladder, again, obviously because there's no bans in this, the best comp, and it literally has like an 80% win rate, which is absolutely insane. By far one of the most broken win rates I've ever seen on Siege. So the best comp to go on this map, especially on this map as well, is Gale, Surge and Mr. P. But obviously, as I said, it's chromatic brawlers, might not be brawlers that you have. If you haven't got them type of brawlers, I'd recommend going for like a Gene. A Barley's really good on this. Barley's always good in Siege, and especially this map. Gene's always good in the mid, and then either like a tank like a Frank or a BB, or even a Max. Max is really good on this map, but it's not really a ton you can go on Siege. I definitely recommend either a Mr. P or a Gene in the mid. And then obviously as a Surge, it's just really good pinch points for this map, so Surge is definitely needed if you've got him unlocked. Again, the same goes for a Gale. Gale's probably the best on Siege, just because you've got the launch pad, you're constantly jumping in over and over again. So if you've got a Gale, definitely bring that out, because you're going to have a really high success rate. Definitely one of the best Siege brawlers for sure. But as you can see, I'm just keeping complete control with the Surge. It's actually insane. But again, as I said, not really a lot of brawlers I would pick on Siege. It's probably about 5 or 6 brawlers that I would pick inside of this one. So definitely pick these brawlers. Don't go for the likes of Jessie. Penny's actually decent on this, especially with her new gadget, so don't be afraid to give her a try as well. But only a few select brawlers that I would go for. And again, the kind of way you want to play Siege, you don't want to rush things. You definitely want to play to the last bot. Unless you've got like a Barley or something that can deal immediate damage, especially with this comp, you just want to keep control, try and get that first bot. The first bot is the most important one, so always try and go for that first bolt, and then you've always got to get someone on that lane, and then it's always a chase for the next few bolts. Once you get that first bot, you can play it passive and just constantly keep control. It's really easy to keep control, especially with this composition, or even with a Barley especially. It's so hard to win your lane back if your Barley's, obviously when the robots died on their side of things. If you're a Barley, you can constantly keep them on the edge of the Ike zone and just keep them pressured back. So there's not really much more to say about this one. Siege is a hard game mode to play, and especially if you're with randoms as well. A lot of people struggle with this one, but with the brawler recommendations, you should be having a decent time. Okay, so Heist is up next. Probably the hardest one you're going to be having, just because Heist is really unpredictable. I don't really like Heist in terms of ladder. So in terms of the championship challenge, it's going to be really hard. But again, the best comp I recommend for you guys is the one that I'm playing in this gameplay. It's Gale, Ball and Spike. So the Gale, you want to just be sending the ball on the save 24/7. Just keep launching him in there over and over again. You want to be using the shield star power with Bull, and he's got his gadget as well. It makes him stay alive for so long. Don't be afraid to go extremely aggressive with him. If you don't feel like you're a good Bull, Daryl's definitely a good alternative for a tank. But again, if you haven't got Gale, for whatever reason, obviously he's a chromatic brawler, it might be a little bit hard for everyone to have him. That kind of defeats the objective of running a tank. So if you haven't got him, my recommendations, probably go for like a Rico, a Max, a Spike's very good, a Brock. Go with brawlers that you're kind of more comfortable with. You can go triple tank on this map, definitely a good option to go that. But as I said, the number one strategy 100% is going to be the Gale strategy. I see this a lot on ladder. It's got a very high success rate. You've got the Gale that can just absolutely melt people, keep chucking them into the walls, cycling supers over and over again. You've got the Spike's a really good hybrid brawler. If he's left alone on the safe, he can do so much damage. He can literally take down the high safe within like 40% with his gadget, his super, and all of his shots. He can just deal so much damage. He's really good at defense. He's really good at attacking. So definitely Spike's going to be the hybrid brawler. Same with Gale. And obviously when you're facing an enemy Gale, the kind of key to face that, you want to just make sure that the launch pad is guarded. So you don't want them to go on that launch pad, just stay up. You don't want to stay back and wait for them. You want to try and push up, make sure they don't get on that launch pad, and you should be having a good time. So again, it's going to be the hardest one, I believe, because Brawl is the last set. That's going to be pretty much much easier because a lot of people play Brawls. But in terms of Heist, you're going to need to keep control for a lot of it, and again, just go what brawlers you feel comfortable with, because if you're not comfortable on that brawler, you're not going to be performing well. Okay guys, so going on to a backyard bowl then. So this map, you can play a wide variety of things. It just depends on your skill set. So the number one pick I'd recommend for this map is probably going to be Pam. So if you're a good Pam, you're going to be having a good time here. Pam's really good at dealing with like the mortises and tanks and stuff like that, and just super hard to push against, especially when she's got a turret behind the wall. So if you're playing Pam, definitely play a defensive turret to begin with. It's going to be really hard for opponents to do much against you. Again, Surge, if you've got Surge unlocked, definitely use them. If you've got Gale unlocked, 100% use them. They're going to be really, really good. So the best comp I'd probably recommend is probably like a Gale, Mr. P and a Pam. but if not, you can kind of switch around them brawlers depending on what you enjoy playing the most. So again, if you're not got them brawlers unlocked, I recommend a Piper mid's going to be really good, a B mid's good, a Nanny mid's good, but them kind of brawlers are a bit more higher skill cap. And you've got a Brock on the lane, that's also really good. But this map, again, I've explained this before, but with Backyard Brawl, it's all about getting to that first set of walls and then just finding the opportunity. If you've not got wall break, you're going to have to wait for all the enemies to kind of die and then find your opportunity. There you can see in the gameplay, I actually missed an open goal, but yeah, with Brawl, especially on this map, you don't want to force things. You want to make sure you kill all the enemies at the same time, and you don't want to force things, because if you force things and then you die, they're going to have the better opportunities and then push you back and spawn trap you. So this map is very spawn trap based, because you've got the first set of walls. They can just stay there, wait for you to come up and kill you repeatedly. So it's very definitely important to stay alive in this one. So again, I've given you my brawler recommendations. Not a ton of brawlers you can go, and as always, advise to play the brawlers that you're comfortable with. Mr. P is good against literally everyone. Mr. P is good everywhere. Surge is good everywhere. Gale's good everywhere. So if you've got them brawlers, definitely give them a try. Okay guys, this is going to be the end of today's video. I hope you really enjoyed. Again, there's not a ton of brawler picks I can actually recommend, because this meta is very dominated by a few select brawlers. So the Gale, the Mr. P and the Surges, they're just absolutely running rampant at the moment. But the brawlers I did recommend are going to be giving you a good success rate. So let me know how you got on. I'll be looking forward to hear from you guys how you got on. So that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.